you were aggressive, trying and taking advantage of what you saw as a flaw.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
Roger Mayweather was one of boxing's most explosive personalities, both inside and outside the ring.
Got landed flush on Chavez's chin, and Chavez does not back up.
The former two-weight world champion turned legendary trainer never backed down from anyone and held grudges that lasted decades. His fiery temperament and street fighter mentality created enemies throughout his entire career. We're talking about a man who would challenge opponents in parking lots after fights ended. Someone who threw punches at press conferences and started brawls during weigh-ins. Roger's anger wasn't just for show.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit.
It was genuine hatred that consumed him completely when certain fighters crossed his path. These weren't simple competitive rivalries or promotional hype for ticket sales. Roger carried personal vendettas that went way beyond professional boxing into real-life confrontations. He remembered every slight, every disrespectful comment, and every attempt to humiliate him publicly. From his fighting days through his training career with Floyd Mayweather Jr., Roger accumulated enemies like trophies. Some fighters underestimated his intelligence, others questioned his toughness, and a few made the mistake of attacking his family directly. We're counting down 7 boxers who pushed Roger Mayweather beyond his breaking point and learned why they called him the Black Mamba. The #1 spot will reveal the fighter who made Roger's life a living nightmare for years. 7. Costa Chu. Starting at number 7 is Costa Chu, the Russian Thunder who handed Roger one of his most painful defeats and then celebrated like he had conquered America itself. Their 1997 encounter was supposed to be Roger's comeback moment, but instead it became a nightmare that haunted him forever. Chu arrived with typical Russian arrogance, dismissing Roger as an aging American has-been who couldn't compete with European boxing talent. The comments infuriated Roger because he had always prided himself on representing American boxing against foreign invaders. Chu's dismissive attitude felt like a personal attack on Roger's entire heritage. The fight itself became even more painful when Chu dominated Roger completely, dropping him multiple times before scoring a devastating knockout. Roger had never been humiliated so thoroughly by anyone in his professional career. The defeat wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare that destroyed Roger's confidence. Chu's post-fight celebration made everything worse as the Russian acted like he had solved some great mystery about American boxing weakness. Roger watched from the canvas as Chu posed for cameras and gave interviews about conquering another American legend. The arrogance displayed during Roger's lowest moment created lasting resentment. The aftermath became even more bitter when Chu used the victory to establish himself as boxing's new star, while Roger faded into obscurity. Roger felt like Chu had stolen his legacy and used it as a stepping stone for international recognition. The defeat represented everything Roger hated about foreign fighters coming to America just to embarrass homegrown talent and then leave with all the glory. Number 6 is Pernell Whitaker, the slick southpaw whose defensive brilliance frustrated Roger beyond belief and created a personal hatred that extended far beyond their ring encounters.
Tim, Roger Mayweather has no weight in his legs at all. It's all on.
Whitaker represented everything Roger despised about modern boxing with his safety-first approach and point-fighting mentality. Roger grew up believing boxing should be about aggression, power, and finishing opponents decisively. Whitaker's elusive style went against every principle Roger held sacred about what made a real fighter. Their sparring sessions became heated arguments about boxing philosophy and masculine pride in the sport. The personal animosity intensified when Whitaker would embarrass Roger during training sessions by making him miss constantly while landing clean shots. Roger felt humiliated by someone he considered a runner rather than a legitimate fighter. Whitaker's ability to frustrate Roger's aggressive style created genuine anger and professional jealousy. Media comparisons between their styles always favored Whitaker's technical superiority over Roger's brawling approach. Boxing writers suggested that Whitaker's defensive skills were more valuable than Roger's knockout power. These comparisons wounded Roger's pride and made him question his own legacy in the sport. The breaking point came when Whitaker made public comments suggesting that Roger's style was outdated and belonged in a different era of boxing. This criticism of Roger's fundamental approach to fighting represented the ultimate disrespect from someone Roger viewed as everything wrong with contemporary boxing culture. Roger privately blamed fighters like Whitaker for ruining boxing's entertainment value and turning the sport into a boring technical exercise rather than genuine warfare between warriors. 5. Julio Cesar Chavez. At number 5 is Julio Cesar Chavez, the Mexican legend whose victory over Roger created a bitter rivalry rooted in cultural pride and professional jealousy that consumed both fighters for years. Their 1989 encounter became more than just a fight. It was a cultural war between American and Mexican boxing traditions. Chavez represented everything Roger resented about Mexican fighters getting preferential treatment from promoters and media coverage. The Mexican superstar received massive pay-per-view opportunities while Roger struggled to get meaningful fights despite his championship credentials. This disparity in treatment based on marketability rather than boxing ability infuriated Roger completely. The build-up to their fight became personal when Chavez questioned Roger's heart and suggested that American fighters lacked the warrior spirit that made Mexican boxers superior. These cultural attacks wounded Roger's pride and turned the bout into a matter of national representation rather than individual competition. Chavez's victory over Roger was devastating, not just because of the defeat, but because of how the Mexican legend celebrated afterward. Chavez acted like he had proven Mexican superiority over American boxing, while Roger nursed his wounds in defeat. The cultural implications of the loss made it far more painful than a simple professional setback. The aftermath became worse when Chavez used the victory to establish himself as the undisputed king of his division, while Roger's career stalled. Roger watched from the sidelines as Chavez earned millions fighting inferior opponents while being denied rematches and major opportunities. The success disparity created lasting resentment about boxing politics, favoring certain fighters over others. Roger never forgave Chavez for representing everything he hated about promotional favoritism and cultural bias in professional boxing rankings and fight selections. Number 4 brings us Vinnie Pazienza, the wild Rhode Island brawler whose reckless fighting style and media attention drove Roger crazy with jealousy and professional frustration. Pazienza received massive publicity for his warrior mentality, while Roger felt ignored despite superior boxing skills and championship accomplishments. The media loved Pazienza's comeback story and dramatic fighting style, giving him coverage that Roger believed should have gone to more skilled fighters. Roger resented how Pazienza's personality and promotional ability overshadowed technical superiority and legitimate championship credentials in determining media attention and fan support. Their encounters in and out of the ring became heated exchanges about what constituted real boxing ability versus entertainment value. Pazienza would mock Roger's technical approach, while Roger questioned Pazienza's actual boxing skills beyond pure aggression and durability. These philosophical differences created genuine personal animosity between the fighters. Roger felt particularly bitter when Pazienza received major television opportunities and lucrative contracts, despite what Roger considered inferior boxing ability. The promotional favoritism shown toward Pazienza represented everything Roger hated about boxing business, prioritizing entertainment over pure athletic achievement and technical excellence. The breaking point came when Pazienza made public comments suggesting that fighters like Roger were boring and that boxing needed more warriors who came to fight. This criticism of Roger's style and approach to the sport represented the ultimate insult from someone Roger viewed as a limited fighter who succeeded through marketing rather than genuine skill. Roger privately blamed the boxing media for creating false heroes like Pazienza, while ignoring truly skilled fighters who didn't fit their narrative preferences. Number 3, Shane Mosley. At number 3 is Shane Mosley, the golden boy whose natural athleticism and media darling status created intense jealousy and resentment from Roger throughout both their careers. Mosley represented everything Roger felt he should have been: young, fast, powerful, and beloved by boxing fans and promoters alike. Roger watched from the sidelines as Mosley received every opportunity and advantage that had been denied to him during his own prime years. The young fighter got major television deals, promotional support, and media coverage that Roger believed should go to more experienced and accomplished boxers like himself. Their interactions became tense whenever they crossed paths at boxing events or training facilities. Roger would make sarcastic comments about Mosley's privileged position in the sport, while the younger fighters seemed oblivious to Roger's resentment and bitterness about their different treatment levels. The personal animosity intensified when Mosley started achieving the kind of mainstream success and financial rewards that had always eluded Roger despite his championship accomplishments. Roger felt like Mosley was living the career that should have been his if boxing politics and promotional favoritism hadn't worked against him. Roger's hatred reached its peak when Mosley began receiving credit for revitalizing interest in welterweight boxing, while Roger's previous contributions to the division were largely forgotten. The younger fighter's success felt like a personal insult to Roger's legacy and everything he had sacrificed for the sport. The situation became unbearable when boxing historians started comparing their accomplishments and generally favored Mosley's achievements over Roger's championship reign and professional record. Number 2 is Oscar de la Hoya, the golden boy whose Olympic success and crossover appeal represented everything Roger despised about modern boxing promotion and media manipulation. De la Hoya's instant stardom and preferential treatment from day one of his professional career infuriated Roger beyond rational explanation. Roger resented how De La Hoya received massive promotional campaigns and marketing support that older fighters had never enjoyed despite superior accomplishments. The Olympic connection gave De La Hoya instant credibility and fan support that Roger felt was unearned through professional boxing achievement and ring experience. Their personal interactions became hostile whenever they encountered each other at boxing events or promotional gatherings. Roger would make cutting remarks about manufactured stars while De La Hoya maintained his polished public image. The contrast between their personalities created obvious tension that everyone noticed. The financial disparity between their careers drove Roger to genuine hatred, as De La Hoya earned millions while Roger struggled for recognition and meaningful opportunities. Roger watched the Golden Boy become boxing's biggest star, while truly skilled fighters like himself were relegated to undercard status and forgotten by mainstream audiences. Roger's bitterness peaked when De La Hoya started his own promotional company and began controlling major fights while excluding veteran fighters from significant opportunities. The power shift represented everything Roger hated about boxing politics and promotional favoritism, determining careers rather than pure boxing ability. The ultimate insult came when De La Hoya retired as a wealthy superstar, while Roger continued struggling financially despite comparable ring accomplishments and superior technical skills throughout his career. Number 1, Floyd Mayweather Sr., and finally, at number 1, the most shocking revelation of all, Floyd Mayweather Sr., Roger's own brother whose personal betrayals and family warfare created the most painful relationship in Roger's entire life. This wasn't just about boxing rivalries or professional jealousy. This was family destruction that tore apart everything Roger held sacred. The sibling rivalry began when Floyd Sr. started taking credit for developing Floyd Jr.'s boxing skills while minimizing Roger's crucial role in their nephew's development. Roger had spent countless hours training Floyd Jr. and felt betrayed when his brother tried to erase his contributions from the family boxing legacy. Financial disputes over Floyd Jr.'s career earnings created bitter legal battles between the brothers that destroyed their personal relationship permanently. Roger felt cheated out of money and recognition that he deserved for his role in creating boxing's biggest star. The family business became a war zone of lawsuits and public accusations. The personal attacks escalated when Floyd Sr. started giving interviews, questioning Roger's training abilities, and suggesting that Floyd Jr.'s success came despite rather than because of Roger's influence. These public betrayals by his own brother wounded Roger deeper than any professional defeat or outside criticism ever could. The breaking point came when Floyd Sr. tried to completely remove Roger from Floyd Jr.'s corner team and training camp. Roger realized that his own brother was willing to destroy their family bond for money and personal glory. The ultimate betrayal came from the person Roger should have been able to trust most in the world. From cultural wars to family betrayals, Roger Mayweather's grudges ran deeper than anyone imagined. Which rivalry shocked you the most? Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more explosive boxing drama you've never heard before.